Welcome back to AM Northwest. Portland's own world-renowned floral designer shares tips for creating treasures out of things found in nature. Sorry about that. Let's go on here. We welcome back to AM North. Our first guest is known around the world for her botanical designs, creating everything from jackets and jewelry to simple arrangements. And here to show us how she does it, we welcome the author of Wonder of Woodlands, Portland's own Françoise Weeks. Good to have you with us, Françoise. Sorry, I messed up there for a little bit. I was a little confused. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. But I just have to say, your book, let me go through it again. Wonder of the Woodlands is incredible. The beauty that you create with what you just find outdoors is amazing. So let's get to it and let's take a look. Look at this. We've got some napkin rings that you made. Look at that. Tell me about this. Are these earrings?
Yes, those are earrings.
Wow.
Yeah, I use aluminum wire and I make a little circle with it, and then I glue elements on it, and there you have little mushrooms and hellebores and some succulents.
Oh my gosh, look at this one. How long do these last? Because some of them look like they're fresh.
Yeah, so if you use fresh flowers, if you use a hydration chamber, which is basically a sealed box, like a storage box or so, and you wrap the jewelry or the flowers in humid paper towels, or your finished design, it will last up to 5 days. So let's say that you want to wear those earrings or anything
like that
else
necklace,
that you make, or like the flowers that I used for this napkin, and you want them to hold, you put them in a hydration chamber, and then you can use the design, wear a necklace or whatever, and then when after the party, you put it back in the hydration box. And then like 2 or 3 days later you can wear it again.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What got you interested in this type of art?
Curiosity, I guess curiosity.
Yeah, because you like the outdoors, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
So, yeah.
So describe this one to me.
So this was, those were 2 capes that I made literally with hot glue. I squiggled so I made a pattern for the cape, and then within the pattern, I literally squiggled with hot glue, so it kind of forms lace. It's like a lace. And then I glued flowers on it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's super flexible. These are, this is a little fascinator that I made on a comb. And so
I see.
I extend the gluing surface with a little piece of cardboard, and then I glue the botanicals on there.
Oh, Françoise, that is amazing. Oh, look at this one.
Yeah.
What are we using here?
So the mechanics for these headpieces is a little bit more involved. I use aluminum mesh and create a certain shape, and then I cover it with foliage, and I decorate it with blooms.
And you've done many weddings, like hundreds of weddings, right?
Yes, I have.
Where you do what, the napkin rings?
No, this was before I really got involved in this. So they were more, I think I've always really
like
been...
bouquets?
Bouquets,
okay.
yeah. So bouquets, centerpieces, ceremony, flowers, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah.
But, all right, let's take a look at another picture, and this is of a coat. Look at this.
Yeah, so the base of this also was aluminum mesh. Again, I made a pattern, and then I cut the aluminum mesh out, and then covered it with paper thin bark, and there's a few flowers in it and little ferns, and
Françoise, so that is beautiful. Oh my goodness.
So this is another scarf that I made using the hot glue.
Yeah.
So again, made a pattern, squiggled the hot glue in there.
Is that pansies?
And they're all pansies and blossoms of hyacinths, the blue around the neck.
You are so good at the detail.
And then, so I buy shoes at Goodwill, and then I decorate them with the botanicals. I cover the shoe with leaves. Those are Rex begonia leaves, and then decorate them. I think I use some fritillaria in there and some little succulents.
Oh
and
my gosh, that's incredible. How do you find the items to put on? Look at this. How do you find the items to put on these shoes? And all your art projects?
So this is actually a little fairy house.
Oh, how cute is that?
So,
okay.
So I buy a lot of my materials at the flower market. I do some foraging on private land. I have a couple of friends who have acreage, woodland acreage. And then I do like to, after a good storm, walk in the neighborhood. I live in an older neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, lots of old trees.
Right.
And after a good storm, there's lots of lichen and moss and acorns in the fall, et cetera, et cetera. So I gather them there.
And can you teach people how to do this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you show me how do you make one of these napkin rings?
Sure.
These are just amazing.
So I use about a piece of wire. This is aluminum wire. This is a piece of wire that you can get at a
craft store.
Yeah. And I measure out about 12 or 14 inches, and then I bend it like this.
Okay.
And then I use a little bit of the cold glue. So I'm going to want to glue this together.
Okay.
Like this. And then I use a little bit of thin wire.
Did you teach yourself to do this?
Yeah, we're back to curiosity. So I would see pictures on of something that I liked, or somebody would say, "Oh, could you make something like this?" And then I try to figure out
how to do it.
How to do it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of trial and error, but it's super fun.
Right.
So
and it's incredible.
So like this one here, I covered with paper thin bark.
That's bark. Look at that. Okay.
This I covered with ivy leaves from my garden. And this one here, I'm going to show you.
Okay.
So these are leaves from a perennial clematis.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you just basically put a little bit of glue onto the wire here, and then you put it onto
you
the
probably,
leaf.
when you take a walk in the neighborhood, you look at things a little differently than the average person does, right?
Yeah,
you know, you see things we don't normally see.
I like to say that when I started to do woodlands, I got new eyes.
Yeah, because I just remember just this weekend I passed by some moss, and I thought, oh, that would be something that Françoise would use.
Yeah.
And our producer Tammy, the same thing.
And then add a little bit of glue here.
Okay.
And then you put this other leaf on here.
Your art has been seen in art shows, hasn't it? I mean,
yes.
Because I feel like I've seen the shoes and some of the fascinators.
So and then you glue that on, and then you cut it a little smaller. So then this is the end result.
Okay, so you got that. All right.
And then you basically lay some flowers or whichever materials you want.
Oh, look at that.
So these have been hydrated in a hydration chamber since yesterday. And then you just basically kind of play a little bit with it and figure out where you would like. Put a little bit of cold glue on, like that. And then basically, you don't need much glue. And
for the little guys.
Right.
Okay.
And the glue dries pretty fast.
And you like to use an assortment of flowers.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And then, so these are from my, actually all of these are from my garden, and so are these. So, so the little hellebores, you want to wait until they start going to seed, so they're forming the seed pod, so they won't wilt readily. And then little succulents.
When you go to a grocery store, do you go to the mushroom department?
I always go to the mushroom department and the Asian grocery stores. They have
they have incredible mushrooms, right?
They have amazing.
Yeah.
So some of them are dehydrated and some of them are fresh. And Trader Joe's has a pretty good selection of mushrooms, and so.
But do you want to get dehydrated mushrooms?
So either if they have dehydrated mushrooms that I like, I buy them. But like for instance, these here, they're from the grocery store, and they were so to dehydrate them, what I do is I put them on a dry paper towel and I just leave them there.
Oh, okay.
So these took about a week to dehydrate, and these about 4 or 5 days. And if
Wow.
you get the bigger mushrooms, it can take up to 2 weeks for them to dehydrate. But then once that they're dehydrated, you know, you don't have to, they'll last for a really, really long time.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about them, you know, getting moldy or anything like
Right.
that. So you just...
Did you grow your garden for your creations, or
No, it's my garden.
just your garden?
You know, and I pick in it, you know, for little projects like this once in a while. But, you know, it's funny because brides used to ask, so we live on a regular 100 by 50 lot, right?
Yeah.
And we have a small garden, and brides would say, do you grow all the gardens for my wedding? And I
Oh,
go,
no, no. That's why you're lucky to have friends who have property and you can go on. That's perfect.
Yeah. So
And then
sweet.
once that sticks, then you can bend it, right? Because
Right.
it'll go right around.
Right, and that's why you use the wire. So then you can, once it's done, then you can
Can
just
bend it,
you
just
can
like these
just
guys.
bend it, you know, and then just
Oh,
put a
that's
napkin
perfect.
around.
And then back to the glue. I love it. We
Yeah.
want to tell everyone the book again is titled Wonder of the Woodlands.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And we're going to put all the information, because I know you teach classes on how to do this too, which is
I-
really fun.
Yes, I do.
We're going to put all information about Françoise Weeks on our website at katu.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.